line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
It is the end of an era. It is the end of a season. It is what we always come to expect. And tonight, this one comes to an end here under the night lights at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're in Las Vegas, Nevada, ladies and gentlemen, and it's time for the Season 4 Championship race for the Green Mountain Grill's Fast and Fun Truck Series right here on the show. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader, Christian Schreiber, joining you guys tonight here under the bright lights, under the night skies. The surface is bright, the surface is clean, and these drivers are prepared to go to battle and go to war with the top 4, looking for more than just a win, looking to get a season title to their name, and one of them just so happens to be the man that wants this one so badly he can taste it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Greg Janczak. Craig, you've talked about this one for quite a while. You've been in this position before. Now you have the opportunity. How does the track feel right now for you and your team?
Yeah, track feels amazing. I'm so thankful to be able to have the opportunity, as you mentioned. But yeah, track feels amazing. I love this place. It just so happened, we just so happen to be lucky that Road to Pro is actually racing here on Thursday as well. You know, of course, that's the open setups, but you know, every little bit of track time helps. So that makes me feel like we're plenty prepared even to start with, and then you know, we have an amazing field here tonight as always. You know, Trey, Tyler, and James will definitely be putting up a good fight. But it is nice to know that 50% of the championship floor is, you know, ovals and performance drivers. So big shout out to Meeks as well for being able to make it. That makes me really happy. And yeah, we'll be fighting for a win in what I'm expecting to be an all-out brawl all race long. I don't think there's going to be much separation. You know, in the pack, we'll call it, probably until lap 30 of a green flag run. So that's going to be a real big treat, I think, for sure.
It certainly is indeed here. Now, James, I'll ask this last question for you, but the last time we were in the same exact boat, you had a little bit of a problem on your hands when it came to trying to avoid drivers. What is it going to be mentally here for you to kind of stay focusing on the track while also trying to stay clear of trouble when it might persist around here?
And that's going to be a huge thing too. You know, this isn't a super wide track like we even had at Auto Club. So, you know, yes, you can go 3 wide here, no problem. But with Auto Club, it's almost expected that you're going to be 3 wide for a lot of the race. So, you know, there's less space, but I'm hoping that, you know, strategy wise, we can work a little bit closer, complete a little bit more of, how do I want to say this? Complete everything a little bit more cleanly than we did in the Cup Championship race there. I have made it, you know, a couple of championship races. I've been fortunate enough to be in with a shot in my day here, so you know we'll be able to hopefully use that prior experience even to a little bit of our knowledge here, dealing with internal pressure. I know James is going to be the same way. I think he's made just about as many championship races as I have. And, the pressure is not really there for us, I don't think. But, maybe Trey and Tyler could be getting a little bit excited. And I see Trey top of the board as well. So that, he's probably even a little bit more excited to have that going his way as well.
For sure there. Whenever that's Janczak, definitely a lot on the plate, a lot on the mind. Looking to complete the Triple Crown. We'll see if you can do it and get it done. Best of luck here today, sir.
Thanks so much. Thanks to all the viewers as well.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Championship 4 driver number 40, Craig Dozani fam, Janczak. Well now, ladies and gentlemen, right now your number 1 seed in qualifying here, or practice, excuse me, is currently that number 33 of Buffalo Springs. This is Trey Whitehead now on the call here and on the list here. And Whitehead, you're right now top of the leaderboard in practice, but again, I have a feeling some of these drivers may be kind of hiding something from you. Were you trying to hide anything from them, or are you just trying to give them an idea of what you're after today?
Oh man, I mean, I'm just all out right now from the get-go. I'm just glad to be here. I haven't had the opportunity to get in the championship 4 in trucks or cup the past couple seasons I've been running with these guys. So, stoked to be here, and obviously I'm not going to hide anything now. A lot of people know what I'm here for and know how good I am. So, not going to try to hide anything. We're just going to go full out from the get-go.
So this is yours and Wilcox's first attempt at winning the championship here in the top 4, in the final 4, if you will. So for you, what is it going to take in your mind to seize the deal and get the first one out of the way?
Yeah, I'm looking at obviously Craig and James who've been here before and have been in the situation, and they're obviously fast at this track. So, got to obviously beat them first, but also Tyler Meeks. He's severely underrated at these tracks and really everywhere we go. He's got a lot of speed and stuff. So, like I said, we can't really hide anything from them in practice. So everybody knows what they've got. We just got to go out there and take care of business. So.
Absolutely. Well, nevertheless, though, Trey, we do appreciate your time, your support. Best of luck here on your championship hopes.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Trey Whitehead, ladies and gentlemen, number 33 driver. All right, we'll go ahead and talk with our next combatant up grabs here. That is the Marauder himself and the number 4. The Green Mountain Girls represented from James Harris today. James, you've been in this spot before, and you've actually won the title before, and as the defending Cup Series champion, I've got a feeling you're looking to go back-to-back and just show everyone up today.
Yeah, man, it would be a good feeling to get back-to-back championship for, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Back-to-back championship 4 race championship wins. It would be a good feeling to do it back-to-back. We took last season off in trucks to let those guys kind of go at it. So it's been a little bit since we won the championship. But, we know Craig's going to be coming full bore tonight, and Trey and Tyler are going to be in there as well. So I look for this to be a pretty fun, very entertaining race tonight.
You and Janczak have had a rivalry for quite some time, had quite a bit of a battle going on between each other. For you, what will it be like for you today to kind of knock him off his little podium and make him really think about everything else he's been kind of trash talking at you about?
Yeah, I still owe him for Michigan, don't I?
I don't know how many receipts you owe him. I think that's one of them.
Yeah, but no, tonight tire wear is going to come into play a little bit. I just got to, it's flat out for about 10 or 12 laps if you want to, and then after that your tire is going to come into play. So I'm going to have some fun early, but I'm going to try to take care of my tires the best I can, hoping we get some long runs. If we have long runs, I think I'll be right there with them.
Well, certainly there indeed. We'll let you get to the qualifying here, get that truck out on the track. Thank you for your time, James.
All right, man, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, James Harris. He looks to be one of the drivers here to take this one home and take this one to the bank. Field right now will get squared up into position, and also I know on some of our polls and posts here that we actually made a mistake here. It is not Wilcox that is in the top 4. It's actually Meeks in the final 4. We'll talk with him in just a minute. So our apologies there. Just to confirm there as well here, obviously we're going to watch James Harris kind of go around the track here, get his lap in, retained up. Right now Meeks currently doing his lap around the track, trying to set the fastest time. Harris is going to be one of those guys, man, you're just going to have to watch out for in this race. So top 4 again, Janczak, Harris, Meeks, and Whitehead, all in this championship hunt. They're all in this war zone, if you will, to try to secure the victory. To do so, though, again, they're going to have to really play out some good laps and some good time zones. as the number 4 of GMG's James Harris has just proven that, laying down time into the top lower half here, if you will. He'll be in the 16th position there for the gate. Meeks ready to come on out here now and actually show his run up here. The number 35 Camping World Chevrolet Silverado gets out on the track. He'll have a few more minutes left in qualifying. We'll talk with him right after his qualifying run. Let's take a look at it. Driving the number 35 Camping World Chevrolet Silverado. It's his first attempt here to make top honors here on the show. Getting ready from his hot lap now to set the 2 fastest qualifying times he can. Janczak is on top of the board. No surprise here. James Harris going 4th on top of the board here. Trey Whitehead getting 6th. That is your 3 of the 4. We need to see what the 35's got in store for us here. He'll bring it right off turn number 3 and 4. One more time by here. Gonna lay down the throttle and the speed coming right to the end here. And time is going to be 17th fastest overall. Not quite the line I think he was looking for. Maybe he's going to try one more fast time here and try to build a little more speed. Just one more lap here to try to make the best of it. You can hear that throttle rhythm, the control. He's diving in deep. He's trying to make it stick. Straight to the finish line. One more time by. And his time will be 11th fastest out of the hunt. A pretty solid effort from him and his crew. We will see if that's going to be enough. Let's bring him on in now, race fans. Here he is, the final of our final 4 drivers. Tyler Meeks now on the line. Meeks, your first time in this top 4 bracket, in this championship round bracket. You've got some extremely heavy hitters here, 2 veterans and kind of a rookie to it as much as you are. What's it going to be like here for you to be kind of going to go up against these guys?
You know, it's definitely been a learning curve being a rookie this season with everybody. And first of all, I just got to thank everybody for letting me participate. James, everybody, you know, Green Mountain Grill, Craig for signing me on board, being a rookie as a kind of an unknown driver at Team OSB. And yeah, we're going to go out here as the rookie in the field and try to see what we can do. Obviously, it's an honor to be racing with Craig, James, and Trey. They're class of the field. So for me to go out there for a chance with my first season and compete for a championship is pretty unbelievable.
The nerves holding up okay, I presume? Kind of squared up here knowing what you're gotten yourself into today?
I don't know. I asked team owner Craig earlier, I said, how are we racing this? Are we going all out, or are we still going to be, you know, team player? And he didn't really give me much of an answer. He said he's got to do what he's got to do. So I took it at that, and we'll see how it all works out.
Well, you know, he's been talking a lot about wanting to win the championship more than anything and complete the Triple Crown before he leaves forever. So I think you're going to have your hands full and your hands tied with this one. There's 110 laps to complete, though. So our best wishes and luck to you tonight here, Meeks.
Thanks for you guys. Have fun up there and put on a good show last time for the season.
For sure there. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, your number 35, that's your 4th and final driver in this field, Tyler Meeks. Race fans, this is it. Season 4 championship lineup at stake. Your number 1 qualifier is Craig Janczak in the number 40. It is outside Randall Falks in the 24. Row number 2, Robert Lawrence will pilot in the 5. Is outside Nathan Meyer in the number 1. Row number 3, James Harris. He did not get to defend his crown when he was in it. Now he's looking to defend it here. He'll go up against Brock Whitehead in the row number 3 with his outside being the E2. Row number 4, though, it's Trey Whitehead, brother to Brock. Going to look to try to get his first one sealed. He drives the 33, while the Garth Snyder camp will be in the 88. Row number 5 is going to be George Young. The 48 is outside. Christian Wilcox in the 53. Row number 6 is Stephen Pless. In the 69 is outside the final 4 of our drivers. Battling it up in the Camping World 35, Tyler Meeks. Row number 7 is going to be John Thacker in the 56 is outside. That's Dakota Wilson in the 52. Row number 8, Jason Taylor in the 15. Michael Potter will be in the 84, returning to the show once more. Row 9, Kevin Kirscher in the 91 is outside. It's the 76, Caleb Forsythe. Row number 10, Russ Kilgore in the 2. This is outside Richard Fornshell in the 90. Row number 11 it's William Mann Jr. in the 29s, outside Joshua Caudill in the 23. Kevin Ward will be in the 112 for row number 12. And Robert Wynn Sr. and Jr. will be in the field with them. Joshua Caudill rounding out with the 23 machine tonight. Race fans, this has been a long-awaited race. It's been a long-awaited battle. We've been here before. We know what these drivers can bring to the table. Last season, it was Brian Lorenzo who walked away with the title in the championship. But now, the ultimate regard and ultimate show of fighting material and racing for everything you've got is about to be bear witness here on PTM Racing TV yet again. In my opinion, probably the hardest racing group, the hardest racing battles that come from these shows is certainly from Truck Series. And it certainly comes from the overall tempo and pace these drivers are about to face here. To the initial start, 110 laps to the distance. We're about to crown a champion. Who will it be? We're going to find out now. Green flag is in the air. Sometimes you literally just gotta kind of step aside for a second from the broadcast call and just kind of let these drivers do the talking for you. Not with their mouths, but with their foot, the throttle, the pedals, and the machines that will guide them to victory lane if they so righteously decide to choose so. You're taking a gamble when you run on here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This track is extremely tight in its corners, that is tough in its bankings. It's really a multi-group track. The bottom and the middle certainly can come into play quite a bit often. I'd say more than anything though, you've got really two lines to hit up with this 550 horsepower package. You got to stay in the throttle, stay in the run, stay close to the draft, stay close to the pack here, and stay out of trouble here, especially when stuff like this happens right now. Yellow flag out for the 91 Kevin Kersher. Problems down there in the 91 here. He got sent up a little bit. Looked like he got flipped over on the back straightaway there with the rear wheels kind of catching high ground. Have to take a look at this one here and see what happened exactly again. Looked like a little bobble coming off turn number 2 there. Caleb Forsythe. Oh man. Talk about a wild ride there for the 91 and the 76. Kersher really didn't know what the heck to expect or what happened there. I feel like that was a wild wreck. A few laps into this one here, this is just what you can expect sometimes. Looked like it was a slight bobble there, a little misconception, a little overcorrection, and didn't really have anywhere else to go. Everyone else evading trouble though and doing a great job of it, but yikes. Wild wreck there. Well, before we go and talk with the drivers here, we're going to go ahead and cut to a quick commercial break, race fans. We've got more action to cover here, more to see. When we come back, the field will be talked to and played back onto the track. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, has been brought to you in part by our good friends over at Green Mountain Grills. When you guys need the best wood-fired pellet grills on the market, there's only one brand name that we've trusted in for so long and we know too well, and that is the Green Mountain Grills. Be sure to check them out on their website at www.greenmountaingrills.com. Check them out on their social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, to see how you can find your next latest product for your next cookout. Green Mountain Grills is the natural choice to choose. Alright, here we go now. Let's get the field squared away here. We talked with the top drivers earlier. Now with the top 4 complete, I think it's time we go ahead and talk with some of the other underdogs, the undercards here. Some guys from like Southern Speed Motorsports and Brock Whitehead in the 82. Brock, season end here today, but that doesn't mean you're gonna race any less than you usually do on this track, isn't it?
No, there might be a championship for, but I'm still going for that win.
You certainly are indeed. Now, the fans at home may not know your story here. You've only got 1 win, and of course came from your home track, your home field advantage, Texas Motor Speedway. But here at Vegas, obviously a little bit less steep banks, but still pretty hard on the throttle to say the least here.
Yeah, the banking's a lot different than Texas is, and so we're gonna work with that. And the bottom seems like it's the best line to save tires, so those guys on the outside won't. They might get a run off the turn, but in the middle of the turn and the beginning of the turn, it's not gonna work out for them. So we'll keep it on the bottom and try and get up there to the lead. I don't know if we'll be able to pass Craig, because from everything we've seen he's really fast. So we'll just see how it goes. We still got 104 laps coming to 103 laps to go, so it's got plenty of time.
Thank you for your time here, Brock.
Yep, thank you.
The Patronus number 82 here, Brock Whitehead right now trying to square this one up, firing on down, see if maybe he's got something coming up for regards here. Let's take it down now and talk with the number 48 here, George Young, back on the line here. And George, it's been a wild season, and seems to keep getting crazier for you and your team here in the NPR crew.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, but hopefully we can finish this one off on a high note, get up here with the leaders, and bring one home finally.
Realistically, what is going to be the goal here for you? Because it seems as though Vegas obviously has been known for its tire shredding moments here, as well as its hard racing moments, but this is kind of more or less your style, which is kind of being patient out here with the track, isn't it?
Yeah, but I haven't done too good of a job so far. I've been a little bit more aggressive than I usually am at the start here, so we'll see how long it can hold on early in the race here, and then see what we got to do later on.
All right, well, thank you for your time here, George.
All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the NPR crew, represented by the number 48, George Young. We'll pound him down on the track here and get him squared away here. Once again, race fans, we're going to double file him up here. Randall Falks, Craig Janczak will be the top 2. Janczak on the race lead right now. Falks, I think honestly making his television debut in the Truck Series wise for his end. Usually I'm used to seeing him down at number 3 in the Champ Power Equipment Cup Series, but we're not going to have him this week. We'll have him next week though. They're doing an off and off race week season, so definitely keep an eye out for the promotions and the marketing there when we get that up and running. Best way to find out is here on Facebook with our like and follow button, as well as on our YouTube for the subscribe button, but also Instagram and Twitter are not a bad idea to catch out when we can get stuff going up there too. So stay tuned and keep your eye out for all of it. We certainly do appreciate you all coming on board here to watch this main event here on PTM Racing TV. Season title on the line, obviously. I've known these drivers for quite some time, and I've known just from the overall expressions, the overall feeling they get, there's a lot of guys out here that frankly feel like this season could have been theirs, or it could have been their chance if they just had 1 or 2 things go right or better their way. That's kind of the optimistic line, the optimistic situation you deal with when you're driving in this championship for hunt, this playoff predicament race. We're going to see a little bit more of that and then some here as we get them ready to fire them off down off the corners of turn number 4 to the front straightaway. Green flag is back on now. We are back up and running. A couple of different camera angles to work with here today as well. We've been working hard on the track, and as much as we've been working on trying to find some angles here. Race leader Randall Falks, though, number 24, has the early lead. Janczak trying to catch up there with Harris right behind him. Remember, it doesn't matter if you win the race. If you're in the top 4, you just need to make sure you're ahead of the other 3. Janczak and Harris, well aware of that. And Harris, you mentioned him say earlier on, he still thinks he owes a receipt from Michigan. If you don't recall, it was back in Michigan National Speedway in the Cup division where Janczak really just kind of had a different feeling there. Looked like either he had some troubles keeping his foot off the gas pedal, or he was just ready to tear down the house and get some serious momentum put away. One of his victims was James Harris, and Harris did say point blank, I will make sure he remembers what I've got coming for him next. He has not forgotten that day, and neither has Janczak. I don't know if this would be the best time, though, to be trying to push some limits or push some mental stresses here. I think more and less here. It'll be later down the line before we see some extremely aggressive driving from the top four. Chris Medford coming back on board, saying ouch to the little Kevin Kersher little moment there in the 91 on the back straightaway earlier. Jason Wiley, excuse me, I have been watching your comments, sir, saying go rooting off for Dakota. He's rooting for Dakota Wilson, that number 52 machine. Dakota Wilson Motorsports, number 52. He's had quite the fan base, quite the love from the crowd and from the support fans, obviously here. Good to see him still gaining some attention, garnering some momentum as he tries to hang on here with the rest of the pack and in the back of the field here. Off top side, in the middle side, bottom lane, and all around here, we've got a war on our hands here. The 5 of Robert Lawrence trying to help out fellow teammate, number 40 of Drake Janczak, while Nathan Meyer tries to do much the same. Oval Sim Performance is seriously in high alert, but Randall Falks and James Harris, well, let's just say they are very keen on what those guys will do. Those Elite Performance Motorsports Industry boys will give quite the show and quite the running here, but I guarantee you there's going to be a little bit of a war zone out here for some of these guys. Trey Whitehead, that 33 Buffalo Springs Chevrolet Silverado, really a guy to me that I knew eventually would probably make it into the top 4, make it into the championship hunt. But honestly, he's kind of almost like the outlier. It's like Meeks was a guy that most people are steering the true underdog. Whitehead, he's been a veteran here, and he's been in positions like this before to get to the top 4, but never got the chance. Now he's actually got the chance, and now he's actually just kind of figuring out what he's going to be able to do with it, or if he's going to be able to take this one home and field in for a points get and a win, or what he's going to be after. Either way, he knows one thing, as much as the other boys do, if you're going to win this race, you're going to have to take down probably the most determined driver I've ever seen wanting to win a race, and that is that 40 of Craig Janczak. He is dead locked and focused right now on this field and on this track, watching the rear view mirror, keeping a close eye on every proximity, every position. He wants nothing out of line. He wants nothing out of shape. And right now the Chevys are dominating up front. The only Ford in the hunt is Robert Lawrence here in the number 5. Robert, again, a keen player there with his crew member in number 40, Janczak, as well as some of the other boys here, like Nathan Meyer in the 1. Although for really what it could have been for Robert Lawrence, he actually had a pretty good chance here this season to walk away with a chance at the top 4, but it seemed like every twist and turn he got himself into, he could never find a way around the track, could never find himself into victory lane. And that's kind of been the same circumstance, same situation he's been put into today anyway. He knows he can't win the championship, but he still wants to try to prove something with a race win here. 3 wide still in for a brief fleeting moment there, running through the field. We got some company up here from the 40 of George Young. Young definitely being a little bit more aggressive here, but he kind of has to, especially when you get kind of pushed around by that 35 and Tyler Meeks. Meeks by now definitely not holding back any of that speed here. He is being extremely on the nose and on the aggressive here to get around the 48 of George Young, but he is 5 spots up, starts 12th. He's moving to the field. Field starting to close down the line as they go under the bright lights and bright skies here. The night light here at Las Vegas, absolutely stunning in scenery, picture-perfect view, and an absolute huge crowd on hand to watch this race. Over 50,000 in attendance, and many more watching here on PTM Racing TV are on the show and on the site here, looking on at a wonderful battle and a wonderful race that these drivers possess here today. Janczak certainly had a bit of a road trip on his hands here, coming from Dunmore, Pennsylvania, just to get here. I asked him earlier, you know, what was it like here to really travel this far down to the West Coast? He said, I don't know how the heck people live down here. It's so hot and humid. I'm so used to my East Coast living. Might as well just wanted to get back out and try to hopefully get back into the winter times. I would say right about now, though, the West Coast is probably fuming with some heat here, and that's one thing that kind of brings me to my next little tidbit here, and that is Las Vegas Motor Speedway in its overall capacity. This track, remember, this is not a small track. It's 1.5 miles in length, and with that hot sun that Vegas has beaten down on the circuit here in Nevada, this surface right now is extremely tired out, hot. It's a little bit burnt up on the surface here. The tires are going to be taking a bit of a beating, bit of a handling circumstance here too. It's going to be a lot of drivers trying to find a little bit of a leg, trying to find a little bit of a push here to kind of hopefully center stage and center off with this field. Randall Fox right now getting a good run here in a good position out as a championship 4 now battle it back and forth here. Harris has now found a run here on Janczak. Janczak faltering a little bit. He's only about 1/5 away there. Right now I'm seeing Harris has already got extremely good short run speed. Now you're probably wondering at home, how can you tell if someone's got a good short run versus a long run? It's a very easy tell. If you watch the way that the 4 of James Harris has been running around this track and really running the field in, you may have noticed something. He's been a lot harder on the throttle and really harder on the drafting than anybody else has been since really they started this one. Now Meeks, yes, he's been aggressive too. He's got a very good short run, but long run is yet to be explained. But Harris here, he's watching more of the overall package, the overall deal. He's not trying to worry about that long run yet. He's more worried about keeping Janczak on his toes and trying to get him to make a mistake or trying to get one of his teammates to really bobble on him to hopefully then square away and then take center aim and take center stage. Vauxhall right now may just be a little bit better, a little bit faster on the longer run than any of them. Vaux is one of those guys that he understands that 550 horsepower package. He understands the overall capacity that lays in wait for him and his team. He knows he cannot give in too much. He knows he can't give out too quickly, especially considering what he can bring to the table later on. He's got to just stay focused and really remember it's his own race, it's his own line, and nobody can tell him otherwise. Let's take a look at the back of the pack right now here. We got a little bit of a war going on here between the 88 of Mr. Garth Snyder here, and it looks like the battle between him and the 28 right beside her there, that's actually Russ Gogor. Now he's supposed to be driving the number 2 truck here, but I guess he decided to paint a number 8 beside it because he felt like just kind of shifting it up a little bit. Guess I can't really blame him there. I mean, he said the other day, it's still the final race of the season. Might as well have a little bit of fun with it. Onboard camera here with the Nashville, Tennessee native here. One driver that literally shocked the world last week, who's been coming out on that green-white checkered restart. You find James Harris a chance at a victory at Nashville Super Speedway, his hometown track, his hometown place. It was a feel-good story for Fornshell, who's had multiple wins this season, and in my opinion, has really come alive this season and built up so much confidence, so much momentum. I really feel like that when next season rolls around, which will be in 2 weeks from here on out, I feel as though we will see a changing of the guard, and we're going to see obviously Janczak leave this league that he has made famous in his own minds for so long. But he's also going to pass the torch on to, I think, one driver, and I think one of those drivers may very well be Fornshell. He's been so good and so clean, consistent. There's really not much else you can say to it. It's just been pure, unalterated horsepower. William Mann Jr. right now, number 29. Good to see the man's maintenance back on the field, back on the track, as he tries to get some fresh juice out racing designs right up ahead of the field and trying to stay in charge and in play. Now again, Mann Jr. has been in this spot before. He's really just kind of seen all the long runs. He's seen all the court runs here on his end of the spectrum, but he's never really been put to an absolute test of speed and consistency when it comes to his long-term racing. And I think more than anything, he's going to have to be kind of wary of that here, as we got a problem down here. We got a major problem on our hands here. Garth Snyder wrecks out here on the front straightaway here. Looks like Russ Kilgore involved, and I believe Michael Potter and and Kevin Kersher as well. Start talking good things about the track and the racing, and everything else just completely gets nullified and switched on back. But let's bring it back. we got to go back to the past here and take a look at this one with the PTM Racing TV instant replay. And Cursor looked like he drove up a little bit. Edgar Snyder caught him, which then took the 28 of Russ Kilgore out. You can see the weight and distribution that those trucks actually kind of swing around here. That's one very big unique thing here. Obviously not just the iRacing platform, but for seeing us on the broadcaster side, is just seeing the way these trucks and the way these cars kind of bounce back or kind of shift in suspension, depending on how you set the vehicle up or how you set it up in general, defies all the extra laws and just extra sets here. Well, it's time to take it down now with some more Southern Speed Motorsports crew drivers here from the Allegiant side of things. This is the number 53 of Christian Wilcox. Wilcox, it's been pretty much a crazy season for you and your crew. You walked away with the race win at Daytona, and now you're in the final race here of the season. And I got to ask you this. Do you think maybe you're going to go for another win to end it out, win the first and the last?
Wouldn't that be something else? I feel like I have a truck to contend. It's really just going to come down to timing, honestly. Like, where are you at on that last caution? What line are you getting in? Because if it's a short run, the bottom line is obviously the preferred. You just don't want to get trapped up top. But I'm going to give it my all, and we'll see what happens.
Certainly there indeed. Now, let's ask this real quick as well. Obviously, taking a full set of tires down there, how bad have the tires been affected here from the track surface as well? Because we know at Vegas, this hot surface can really burn up that rubber on you.
Well, after that run, my tires weren't actually too bad. I was definitely feeling fall off. I couldn't hold a bottom line anymore, and I was having some decent out of throttle time. But tires are holding on pretty decent. It's a night race, so we don't have as much fall off as during the day.
Certainly there indeed. Well, nevertheless, here we do appreciate your time here, Wilcox.
Thank you, bud. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Christian Wilcox on the line there. Gave us got some insight here and how he's feeling out there with the track. Right now, 69, Stephen Pless pulls it right off here out of pit road, so it's time to bring him in right now, representing for Ovalson Performance here. It is the lemonade stand man himself, Stephen Pless. Pless, it has been quite the return for you and your team and your crew since you came back to the PTM Racing TV. This being the final race though of Season 4, what can we expect maybe from Season 5 from your end?
Unfortunately, I will not be running Season 5 of Trucks. I'm taking the time to focus on the Cup season. So we're going to try to send it off with a good one tonight. Try to get a good run for the boys in, back at the lemonade stand, and see what we can do.
Well, that's definitely a sad to see. Unfortunately, you will not be joining us here next season. But of course, obviously, with the big racing coming up here, I would say more than likely the Cup Series is definitely going to be a big advantage point for you. But in this last race, though, I mean, is there anything maybe you can take away going into the Cup Series here from these tracks and these cars?
I think the singular thing that's going to be the best to take away will be tire management, because Vegas likes to eat tires, likes to chew that right front up. So if we can learn how to manage the tires a little bit, then that'll probably help us. And maybe pack racing. There doesn't seem to be a lot of separation here at Vegas, so if that carries over into Cups, then the close quarters racing will also be good to get some experience in.
Certainly indeed. Well, nevertheless, here at Plus, we do appreciate your time here today, sir. It's going to be a little sad to see you go, but we've had a pleasure having you on the show.
Oh, yeah, it's been fun. I'm not ruling out a return to trucks in the future, but for the time being, trying to run both, be a little more on my plate than I can handle. But it's been fun being back.
It has
Serving up
to.
those ice cold lemonades.
I brought the vodka, you brought the lemonade. You know how it goes.
Yes, sir.
All right, Steven, thank you for your time, man.
Yes, sir.
The 69, Stephen Pless, ladies and gentlemen, pretty much going to call it a little bit of a part-time retirement, if you will, from the Truck Series. It will be sad to see him go and see him move on, but you know what? I think at the end of the day, it'll be better for him to get into that Cup Series and really figure things out. Speaking of drivers that have figured things out and over time and gotten a lot better on the track, I think it wouldn't be a race without bringing in the man Junior here. So William, good to have you back on board, sir. Man, it's quite the season again. Some close calls, close corner racing, and yet again here we are back in the same spot.
Yeah, Vegas tonight, looking good on the lights. The new car, new truck paint done by Juicy's Paint Shop. Shout out to those guys. just making some laps, man, trying to avoid some of the chaos when people run out of rubber on the track tonight. It looks like.
Certainly indeed. Now, obviously, I know you've definitely been put in this predicament before, where you're kind of in that mid-pack zone, that mid-pack run. But you've been telling me you're trying to get better at a short track run and on a short run to a long run basis. Do you think you got it kind of worked in here today?
Yeah, I think so. Just trying to stay out of trouble. Wait till we get about halfway, 3/4 in before we get a little gutsy, if you will.
Well, to get gutsy around here certainly is living up to the Las Vegas reputation. You gotta roll the dice and gamble your way to victory lanes. Best of luck here, buddy.
Appreciate it, man.
Wayman Jr., ladies and gentlemen, the number 29 represented here on the show. Green drivers getting ready to get back into play, back into the field. When we come back, the green flag drops and the return of the racing here from the Green Mountain Girls Fast and Fun Truck Series. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, has been brought to you in part by our good friends over at Green Mountain Grills. When you guys need the best wood-fired pellet grills on the market, there's only one brand name that they've trusted in, and that's with the Green Mountain Grills Camp. Be sure to check them out on their website at www.greenmountaingrills.com, and also check them out on their social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, to find your latest product line for your next outing. Field is working their way down on the back stretch here now. Solid lineup. Janczak, Falks, Harris, Lawrence, Meeks, your top 5 after pit road exits. Dusty Bardwell saying, coming on board, saying, go Mullet fans. He's talking about the number 5, Robert Lawrence. He's got the nickname the Mullet Man. For those that don't know, I don't say it too much on television anymore. But obviously, there's a little bit of love to him and his crew, and a lot to his family as well. So, to Robert Lawrence, best of luck here in your final race of the season, and everyone else on the track. But off of turn number 4 here, the field is working their way on down. It's time to set the stage, set the tone yet again. The green flag, we run them down to the field, run them back, boys. This is exactly what Janczak wanted out of the gate. He wanted to get a big start, a big runoff here from the field and from the driver's perspective. His opposition is literally the draft package, and those are going to come right for him here. And Meeks and Harris, they're already trying to do it here. Look at the double file start here. It looks like Meeks might have a slight advantage being on the bottom. But remember what we heard earlier from the 53 of Christian Wilcox. After so much of that run, you just can't hold that bottom anymore. Your truck is literally just burnt tires up too quickly and too hard. That's exactly what we're seeing right here. The 53 Allegiant machine is trying to hold down the fort, trying to hold down the line to get as much speed. The bottom lane, if you could shorten it up down there, is the faster of the lines. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be your all-around best package deal. Sometimes you're going to have to kind of play towards that middle stretch. Janczak was such a lead, though, from that 550 horsepower package standpoint. That's really kind of what's helping him out here. Meeks and Harris, though, not giving in. Harris has to back off there. You saw Meeks kind of driving down a little bit right at it. He was going for the run, trying to go for an opening. Couldn't quite seal the deal. Speaking of sealing the deal here, how about this man, Joshua Caudill? Last time he sealed the deal was at Talladega Superspeedway. His very first race win, and maybe the biggest win of his career. He was a little choked up afterwards, selling the best all, how much he really appreciated that, and the fans that came on by for that one. He's been wanting to get another trip to victory lane, but he says he knows the season's kind of been more of the top 4 show, if you will, and there hasn't really been anything else for him to go after. But there's one thing he can say, consider at the end of the day, is that he was literally in victory lane for one time in the season. He was one of our many race winners and many of our race victors here. It was certainly a feel-good story, and great to see him really pull that one off. I'm curious to know, though, will he be able to repeat come next season here? Firing him down off turn number 2, though, right at the moment here. Garth Snyder here holding back front shells, running momentum with a little bit of that dirty air kind of piling up. The only way to get around it is to line the draft up and actually get a move on him. But again, though, with only about a 550 horsepower package in these machines, it gets to be very intensifyingly hard to actually make some passes, make some runs here. But that's kind of the overall deal. You run with these equipments, you run with the stuff. it forces drivers to have to get clever with their tactics, clever with their momentum here and their boost here. As caution flag flies back on out. We got a couple drivers spun on by. Well, now I thought we did. Kevin Ward is slowing down to a bit of a standstill here, but there is no damage on the 112. I do not know what transpired there. The only thing I know is we're going to have to go and take a look at the PTM instant replay. It looks like it might have been the 112 of Kevin Ward. Let's take a look at it. Might have got sideways going into the turn, and the caution had to fly out due to it. Oh, nope. Well, not quite on that target. That was a 28 of Russ Kilgore there. Kilgore found himself on the receiving end. I don't think he appreciates that too much. We'll take a look at it from his onboard camera here. This is what happens sometimes when you get to that tight, close packed racing. You get things so compact and so on flying and on focus. Situations like this can pop up very, very easily. And that's exactly what happened here. Kilgore is going to have to falter with some damage here. Unfortunately, not much he can do about that. Field going to work their way back on around here, get squared back up in position. So now the drivers will settle up again here. Let's go ahead and take one more step here and complete the Southern Seed Sports guys here. Ladies and gentlemen, now on the call is the 52, Dakota Wilson. And Dakota, yet again, man, there's a little bit of a fan base coming on board to root you on here. And nevertheless here, it's been quite the show in the season. Now, I'll ask you this for you as well. Will you be returning here come next season?
Yeah, as long as they'll have me back, I'll be here for sure.
Well, it'd be certainly a great honor to have you back on. And with everything that happened this season, too, is there anything majorly you'll take away to really better yourself as a driver, or really better yourself out on the track?
Just saving tires, really. I got a lead foot, so I suck at saving tires. I'm not gonna lie about it.
I mean, yeah, you have a left foot out there, but I mean, you still have a little bit of control and some consistency out of it, I presume.
Yeah, my debut race with these guys at Bristol, I pulled off the top 5, and I was like, well, maybe I got something for them. Then we started getting to these bigger tracks and just started having some bad luck.
Absolutely, indeed. Well, nevertheless, though, Dakota, as we kind of continue to let them on down, and maybe hopefully that left foot of yours can relax a little bit. We certainly wish you nothing but the best of luck here next season.
Thank you, bud.
Dakota Wilson, ladies and gentlemen, number 52 driver. Looking to maybe showcase something here later in the future and down the line. I think it's time, though, we take it down with the mid-pack crew here, or let's a little bit of a sub-in, if you will. Ladies and gentlemen, 3-time winner, Richard Fornshell on the line. Richard, last week, you pretty much kind of stunned a few drivers, myself included, on your last dash or last bit passing there on James Harris in that number 4. Now, kind of coming from your hometown to literally back here on the west south side of things, how does it feel right now to kind of be back on this configuration, kind of on the speed zones here of the Las Vegas Motor Speedway?
It's definitely back to the traditional kind of 1.5 instead of the little bit shorter that Nashville is. As far as the intermediates go, this isn't necessarily my favorite one, but we'll see. Hopefully I can get up here a little bit and give everyone a little bit of a run.
Everybody certainly indeed here will be kind of on their toes here for this next round. Is racing is certainly for you too, but I'm going to ask you this real quick, Fornshell. This season, I said it a little earlier, this was your coming out season without a doubt, but for you and your career wise, can you use this momentum into the next season and possibly be a top 4 driver?
That's kind of the hope. Like I said last week, I definitely feel like I've learned a lot this season. And really, honestly, I'm hoping I can take a lot of this over to the Cup side and start running a little bit better over there.
Indeed, my friend. Well, nevertheless, here it has been a pleasure to have you come on back on board here and listen on down. We'll see how everything plays out here as we get this one finished up.
Thanks, bud. Take care.
Yep, thank you for your time here. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Fornshell and the number 90. 3-time winner of the season. Certainly looking to do a little bit more than just win 3 times next season, though. It's kind of hard to believe he did not make the championship hunt, but unfortunately that's kind of happens when you miss a few races. You kind of get stuck in that situation here. As they bring the drivers back on by here, getting squared away there. Piloting him up down off turn number 3, down into turn number 4, race fans. The field is set in motion, set down to pace this one up. Been a bit of a wild race in action here on the show. And I think it's just about to get even more wild as we get them back rounded out off of turn number 4. Green flag high in the air. Let's roll this one out. The speed, the power, the momentum, it's all there. Tyler Meeks right now staying ahead of already of James Harris. Looking to try to get Janczak here if he can. Meeks, you heard him say earlier, he was trying to figure out with Janczak what his plan was, if he was going to race it hard, if he was going to go for it all. Janczak was very vague in telling him, he basically just said to them, in racing language, in my opinion, I don't care who is in my way, I will race this one to the end and come away the champion one way or another. Pretty strong words and bold, but when you're from any other driver. But you got to remember, Janczak's not another driver. He's literally a man on a mission. He's determined to literally get that win, to get that championship that he so feels he's owed and he deserves. And he knows this is his last race. So really, that's just pretty much kind of like the coup de grace, if you will, of it all. A win here means everything to him. But I'll tell you one guy that definitely wouldn't mind playing a little spoiler here. That was the guy that was racing hard earlier on. That's the Green Mountain Grills crew number 24, Chevrolet Silverado driver Randall Falks. Falks not exactly giving everybody a little bit of breathing room here, exactly giving anyone a chance to really think about this here. He's wheeling that thing. He's bound to the track. He's bound to the momentum. Hitting every corner as hard as he can, trying to find lines where he can get it to. Nathan Meyer, Christian Wilcox, much of the same here. All drivers in a flat foot, steady pace. Just approaching halfway mark number 1 here. Tyler Meeks now looks like he might be getting a little bit more aggressive here at his boss, at his teammate here, Craig Janczak. Meeks isn't exactly just going to go down. He's go down without a fight either, I hope I remind you at home. Meeks wants this championship win. I talked to them before we even got on the race here today, and I'll tell you, this Cad, man, all he could think of, oh, I saw that front nose of that 35 peeking a little bit at the 40. Remember the last time we had that happen? The last time somebody peeked the nose in the corner fender of the 40, it did not go well. Janczak would end up losing the championship hunt at Cup Series Division at Auto Club. He told me as well that day he just did not want to think about it, nor did he ever want to think about that moment again. He said he's only gone back and watched the race once. He said, I'm not ever going to look at it again. And I said, that's kind of mean. At least I tried to make the call sound as good for you if you wanted it to hear. And he's like, I don't care. I'm not listening back at it. Meeks, man, tell you what though, if he does kind of stick that nose into the right place at the right time, that certainly could be the equalizer for him. There have been rumors going around too that with this new update coming up, we will get the trucks actually updated to look more like what the truck series look like now in those Fords, Chevys, and the Toyotas. And if that does happen, it looks like I might need a bit of a makeup job on my truck. Thankfully, I got a good draft designer ready to go for it. Certainly can't wait to see it, because I'll tell you right now, those Fords, they look mean as can be, and I love the look of it. The Chevys look alright too, but those Fords, yeah, man, that's what it's all about. Meyer right now is trying to work with that 35 here of Meeks here. He's trying to push and shove him up a little bit, trying to get him right into the field here. Looking for any kind of chance, looking for any kind of opportunity to strike it hard. As we see a little bit of a return driver here in the 84 Toyota Tundra. It is Michael Potter back in the 84 machine. Been a very long time since we've seen Potter out on the track here. Really, the last time I think we saw him was almost a whole season ago. He was not in any of the races this season, or if he was, it was only Daytona. Kind of making a triumphant return here at the last minute, the last bit of this party here, if you will. Well, the drivers are starting to get a little bit closer together, starting to really build speed up. Race fans, I think it's time. I shut the mic off. We turned the volume up a little louder. How's about it, race fans? One more time here for the season 4 stake. Crank it up with us here on PTM Racing TV. Oh, you can feel the momentum, you can feel the power and all that is coming with it here. The crank it ups are just absolutely a pleasure to listen to and really rock and roll with a little bit. Who needs the music when you got all the speed and power that they come through with today? 57 of 110 laps have now been completed here on PTM Racing TV. Randall Fox right at the moment fighting for everything he's got to try to take down and upset some of the drivers here. But Janczak is literally not worried about him. He's more worried about the guys behind him, and he knows Meeks is paying close attention to what Fox is doing. He's looking to grab that front half, looking to grab the truck. And maybe, just maybe, might have a shot at actually getting around his teammate here. Again, that is his boss, by the way, and I don't think the boss is exactly going to be letting him get off with this one very easily. Trey Whitehead right now, we haven't really talked too much about him kind of in this top 4 hunt because really he hasn't been around very much today except for the early part of this race. Oh, and that might be a reason why there. Clips the wall coming in turn number 3. You see barely just snapping it right off the end. He's struggling a little bit to kind of get around traffic here. Now, he's not exactly giving out, though. He's not exactly going to quit, though. That's for sure. Ultimately, though, his problem is can he get any kind of run, any kind of momentum, especially when they're going 3 wide slim like this right here off turn number 2. Oh, Potter put down a little bit thanks to Kersher. Kersher not exactly going to give anybody a chance here, and he's actually kind of blocking a little bit of that top 4 driver run. I don't know if Trey's exactly going to appreciate that here from Kevin. I know for Kevin, he's obviously trying to make a little bit of a statement here, and now they just realized something too. Trey Whitehead's a lap down at the moment. I didn't even realize he was a full lap down. I was trying to figure out why he was so back in the pack. Now I actually know why. Something must have happened earlier on in the race here that caused him to go back down a few pegs and a few D spots here. You'll have to hope for an air caution and a little bit of a lucky break here with the lucky dog. That might be his only chance to come out on top here, and he's definitely in a very tough little circumstance and scenario here. Hard on the exits here, turn number 4. You can see right there the 56 of John Thacker. You know, he's a thorn in everybody's side, especially mine when it comes to getting into my broadcast booth unexpectedly. But he certainly has not held back this season on his race runs. Remember the last time he was in a championship hunt was literally the the last race of the season at Kansas for Cup Series. He actually had shocked the world a little bit. Outsmarted all top 4 drivers and actually William Mann Jr., who had the race locked up going to turn 4, but the fuel line quit and he ran out. John had just enough to secure the W. He said that was really one of his biggest wins of his career, and the one that he felt like he was owed and detrimental to really the success for him in the NPR style racing. Guys right now starting to get spaced out a little bit. Looks like speeds are starting to slow off a little bit, tempering them down a bit. Meeks' right sides might be burned up a little too much to rotate down to the bottom more and hold the line in without having to back off the corners. Janczak obviously trying to stay in the lead foot, staying in a consistent run there with Falks if he wants any chance here. Got about 45 laps remaining here on the show. Janczak has been the #1 driver through the entire section of the top 4.5. He has not lost the lead there. But again, it's only right now, well, 1 lap. You gotta really be in that position or know where to be in. Is literally the last lap. Everyone's still looking to gain some ground, gain some momentum. Composure is definitely being taken full advantage of, and every single one of these drivers, man, they're just looking at the odds, the playing field, and everything that kind of evolves around them and their overall lineup here. Some guys like Jason Taylor here in the 15 may have not have had a race win to their name, but they've certainly had a season and a half just by overall performance and control. William Mann Jr. kind of keeping his distance a little bit from Jason Taylor. I know we're already past 2020, but I think he's still figuring out a way to social distance one way or another from these guys and stay in the field. The field is starting to slow down a little bit. They're trying to pick the pace up by simply just letting the trucks kind of work their way around the track and hope for the surface to kind of take in and burn up a little bit more. Fuel strategies and pit strategies will be coming into play soon without a caution coming out. And Janczak is the man with the plan and the man that runs this field and runs the show. Can he hold out for the longest bit? We'll find out when we return. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, brought to you in part by Green Mountain Grills. Guys, literally here in Iowa right now, I'm currently under the warmest weather possible for February, and we're getting in closer to my favorite holiday season, the springtime, and the March springs blooms with some serious growth and work. And the only time I know I need to get more done is when I'm out grilling on the barbecue with some chicken and some pork chops. How do I do it? Simply I work with Green Mountain Grills and their wood fire pellet grills. best on the market, the best for the price. Be sure to check them out on their website, www.greenmountaingrills.com. Back on the camera section here right now. Here we go on board here with James Harris here on the number 4. As he is currently just doing his own little thing here, really stabilizing position and staying very focused on a one-line spot. Now you're probably wondering, why is he focusing on the high side, the middle side here compared to the bottom? Well, remember what I said earlier about this being a multi-group track, and also this being more of a track that you've got to really watch yourself on. That bottom lane does tear up tires quite a bit, and it can really hurt your momentum for that long distance. And you can see already Meeks here. He just ran a really hard run, a little hard race there on this setup package deal. And what it's doing right now is it's actually making things a little bit more tricky to get around and find a little bit of that sticky stuff down there to keep the truck at play, keep it on shot zone. And Janczak really using that draft of the 24. That's been kind of his saving grace, his saving keep here as caution flies on out again. And it looks like Michael Potter in the 84 is going to have some problems down there in that Toyota Tundra. And now the plot thickens and the pot just got stirred up a little bit more. Let's take a look at the replay here. Hard to really tell what the 84 had happen here. I think he might have been trying to go into pit road and came pretty close there to the 52 here of Dakota. Well, I think he was trying to hit a pit road, but he missed. He overshot that badly, and Robert Wynn literally just smashed the rear end of that thing into the grass. Had nowhere to go. There wasn't much he could do. Let's take one more look at it here from the camera angle here. Just goes to show you though, when you're trying to time yourself into pit road, mistakes like this can cost you dearly. You can see he was heading in there and looks like he actually wasn't heading over there. Actually, it looks like he just got loose off turn 4. So he actually overshot the turn and undershot it down on the bottom. Couldn't get it to get back to the top side in time. And once you caught that flat spot there off that exit, that was pretty much no man's land. The entire truck just kind of lifting off the ground in a bad angle there, and that's not what you want here on these trucks. Well, back to our continuation of talking with the drivers and seeing how things stack up in their favor. Right now, Garth Snyder not having the best of nights here in the 88, but that doesn't mean he's not up for a little chat and talk here. So, Garth, right now, this season has been a bit of a stretch in the imagination for you and your team of Ovalson Performance, with really 2 of your championship guys in this hunt for it. But for you, what did it mean here to get to this moment, get to this race here yet again?
Well, we've struggled a little bit this season. The team overall has done really well, but personally we haven't had a whole lot of success. So just trying to cap it off with a little bit of something good here. We won this race last year, and going to maybe try to repeat it.
Certainly indeed here. Well, I'm going to ask you this here as well. Next season is rolling around, and there's a lot of guys that are kind of trying to keep their eye on and trying to keep into play here of what to expect here for the next seasons to come. For you and your crew, I mean, what is it you want to accomplish, and what is it that you see fit in your future?
I'm sorry, I got 27 people talking to me.
That's all right. You want me to repeat?
Yeah, just give me that last little bit.
So what next season rolls around here, what is it you are going to be trying to accomplish and try to complete here on the show?
Just trying to stay out of wrecks, honestly, man. That's been my biggest thing this season. Between zoning out and bad luck, it's been rough, but I don't know, we're just going to try to be a little more consistent next season.
Definitely there. Well, nevertheless, though, we do appreciate you coming on board and appreciate your time here. Best of luck here on the last runs.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Ovalson Performance here, Garth Snyder in the 88. Certainly up to the challenge and up to the task here, as is his other teammate here, and Nathan Meyer in the number 1. Meyer, you've literally been up there with this top 5, top half for most of the race, if not a good chunk of the brackets here. is this truck just pretty much dialed in to run the full length and full extent here? And it looks like he might not have a copy down there, folks. Might be having a, like he's heard Garcinaro say earlier, like a million people talking in his voice here, so in his head. So we'll leave him be here. What drivers get squared away here? I think we'll talk with one more guy. I think we're going to go with the number 23, ladies and gentlemen, Joshua Caudill. Will be joining us on the line here, or I thought he would be. Looks like that might not be the case here. Nope, looks... Oh, wait, there he is right there. Yep, we got him. Here he is. He's coming on board now, ladies and gentlemen. Here, the number 23, Josh Caudill, is with us here. And, Caudill, this has been quite the season again for you. You've obviously got that big first win at Talladega. Now here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And things definitely couldn't be any more different for you and your crew here, could it?
It's been a little rough. Yeah, I probably should have practiced a little bit before this week. Got caught up before the game, before the race, watching the Carolina game, and probably should have been on track, do a little more practice. But on the long run, we're pretty good. So hopefully, you know, we get to still go to the finish and we can get a good top 10 finish.
Absolutely indeed. Well, I'll ask you this though, with the finish starting to come creeping closer to the end and onto the run, do you think you got what it takes here to bring everything back to it?
I don't think we have the speed really for the front guys, but you know, top 5, top 10, I think I'd be pretty happy with. So that's good enough for me. The season's been a struggle, so to finish with a couple of good runs, I'm happy with that.
Absolutely. All right. Well, nevertheless, here it's been quite the showcase of that. Black Mamba number 23 still representing it well. Caudill, thanks for everything this season.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Josh Caudill, ladies and gentlemen, staying tuned and working with us throughout the season, throughout these runs here in the number 23. But now, race fans, we've got a race to conclude and a championship to crown. We're pulling up closer and closer to the end of it all. And now with this field positioned in for a big run here off the ends, off the center place, the green flag drops. The field will move them on in. This is literally, in my opinion, the biggest sign and telling of the tale here is how quick everybody will jump right into that single file draft here up front to then have to work around the later half here, pushing it down off the exits and into the run zone here. Tyler Meeks thinks he's got something here for Janczak, maybe trying to move in with his teammate, the number 1, Nathan Meyer. I mean, if I am the team drivers right now, I don't even care about teams. I'd just be trying to focus on myself and use teams to my advantage here when I can. If anything, it's just really staying focused on your opposition and staying clear of the run. But, I mean, again, Janczak, he's just on a whole nother laying field right now. He just does not care. He only wants that one thing he was so determined for. But again, is that overshadowing his overall success this season, his overall racing background. That's kind of what I worry and fear for him, because really, if we get to literally a 10-lap ordeal and then something happens with the check, with the yellow flag, I guarantee you one thing is for certain. Every single one of these drivers will have no hesitation to just run that throttle into the floorboards and take them full on. The reason why a lot of them aren't up there right now is because they're just trying to back down the surface, back down the trucks here and make sure that they stay out of trouble and stay out of problematic zones. They're trying to see if they can secure a good distance and a good haul here, because they know there's a lot of areas here that can go right. There's a lot of areas that go very, very wrong. The surface terrain, everything that plays out with it, worn down a little bit. These tires obviously are going to get burned up after about 5 or 6 laps of strong usage and strong racing here. That's what we're kind of getting at the moment, this one. The Wilson Motorsports 52 onboard camera here right now being put to good use. As the field of the drivers now kind of make their way in down on the last half. Jason Tay on the 15 certainly has one of them here in the Remington Chevrolet Silverado. Yeah, and Joshua Caudill just kind of pushing the field up a little bit. Wilson having to go back in the playing field and back down on the bottom end of the backfield here. Every one of these drivers are not giving an inch. They will not quit for the life of them. see the amount of laps left. They see what they've got in store. They know. They truly do know. They are very well aware of the challenges that lie ahead. Remember, we will not be live tomorrow night. We will be off the show, and we will be out of place. And speaking of off the show here, look at this. We were waiting for it. Now it's happened. Janczak, for the first time tonight, is going to lose the race lead to Tyler Meeks. And look at Meeks just blocking him down to the bottom. Janczak's not having it. He goes right back at him. What a move there by Janczak. Tyler Meeks, though, the full credit to the kid, man. What a move on that 35 Camping World Chevrolet Silverado. He was not having it with Janczak anymore. He said, "Bud, I've got to go for a title. This is my only chance, possibly." Janczak is very well aware his teammates were going to get aggressive on him. He's very much indeed the same way. Remember in Michigan, they got extremely aggressive there, and everything kind of bolstered and made things much more difficult for every single one of those drivers. Kevin Kershaw in the 91 is now piling on the outside, trying to get the 35 just a little bit of extra boost, a little extra kick up there. They are dead even, really down that back straightaway, drag racing and on. Yeah, there's a drag race facility inside here at Vegas, by the way, if I didn't think of that obvious enough. It's a one-stop shop, one-stop shot area here at Vegas. This is a track, and this is a place with multiple grooves and multiple things to do and multiple ways to maneuver around. This is truly a magnificent fight and a half. Eric Kershaw, though, losing a lot of momentum. Slowed down, now bashed into the wall. Fortune takes him. Potter goes with him. They collide on the back stretch to a caution. Oh my goodness, Kershaw finds himself in two of the cautions here today and really that bolsters down to just really the overall speed and fundamentals he brought to the table. He was trying to find as much runoff, as much speed as he could. Instead, he found himself on the receiving end a few times here today out of the gate, and he gets another one here. They do have two fast repairs. I know Kershaw has not used the second one. He'll have that last one ready to go for him. What an absolute wild day of racing. One more look at this one. He catches Nathan Myers rear end here in the number one. Fortune nowhere to go, 4 wide, and then next thing you know, everything just goes complete utter mayhem. Whew, Stephen Pless, man. I'm talking about track awareness there in that 69. How about that? Let's get an onboard camera with that shot right there. I want to see this one in real time. That is pretty impressive to avoid that little scenario there. You're on board here with that Toyota Tundra. Oh, that's 2 for the price of 1. That's literally an obstacle course right in front of you there. Wow. He avoids the carnage, he avoids the obstacles. And I said Tundra, I meant a Ford F-150, excuse me. Wow. Crazy scenario popping up in Meeks, by the way, because of that dash and that pass there. Janczak, he's now your new leader. How about that one, race fans? This just got opened up and the doors are wide open for possibly him to take this one home. When we come back, can Meeks do it? Can the rookie seal the deal and take down 2 of the best of Fast and Fun? Find out when we return. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by Green Mountain Grills. Again, you gotta need the best wood-fire pellet grills in the market. I don't know what you guys are doing. You gotta go and check them out at greenmountaingrills.com. They've got the absolute best and the stuff that you just need for your day-to-day routine. And certainly, if you're gonna grill up this spring and summer, I highly recommend these guys more than anything else. Stage set in motion here. Drivers continually getting fielded on around here. Time to take it down here and have a listen in one last time here with some of our guys. One of them just so happens to be John Thacker, the man that everyone knows all too well. Thacker, it's good to have you back here for one last little push and one last little race run. You certainly have not disappointed here when you get into the chaos of things.
Yeah, man, been, top 10 all night, and this Potter, give it to Potter. Pit got me, we all went to the green flag pit, and he dumped it. So here I am in 18th, and nothing else to do this season, so I think I'm just going to send it.
Well, the last time you went and sent it, it sounds like there may have been a little bit of a workaround there, but I think the driver has kind of forgot about it, but those cones really never forget it.
Yeah, they, man, oh,
Oh, man,
God,
he's
that
going to try to
hurt.
race you to the cone.
I'm not going to crash for the cone. I'll let man have it. And someone got it before he got there anyway, so it's on him.
Oh, only John Thacker, folks, would think to really back off to not crash for just a cone.
I might crash him during the green flag just for fun. Who knows? We'll see where it goes.
Have at it, Thacker. It's always been a fun time having you on the show, man. Thanks for coming on by.
It's been a pleasure. Have a good night.
Oh, man. I don't even know what to say to that. Well, really, that is all our drivers to talk with except for Russ Kilgore. We haven't talked to him yet, so I guess we'll bring him in now to the show here. Russ, one of the last guys on our lineup here we have yet to refer to. Things may not have been the best for you and your crew. Obviously, you've been in quite a few little sticky circumstances here, but nevertheless, though, obviously, you've had some great moments and some great battles. Is there really a race that you remember most, that you enjoyed the most out of this season?
Yeah, this track's pretty fun. Wide open for the first few laps. Get some good racing, but I inadvertently used a set of tires on a fast repair, so I'm on old tires, so I'm going to kind of drop like a rock here. I'm going to try to stay out of the way. So.
Well, I mean, at least you're aware of that one and aware of what's going to go down here, but
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, Kilgore, I mean, I know there's a lot on the plate here. Any last words you got for these guys here before you get back at it?
Just try to survive, not take anybody out, and move on to season 5, and we're going to go for it next season. So.
For sure there. All right. Well, nevertheless, here, we do appreciate you for your support, and we will see you next season rolls around, buddy.
Right on. Thanks, Chris.
Russ Kilgore in the 28th tonight, I guess, representing that tonight. Under the night lights here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be very much the final restart. They have got 20 laps left to work with. 10 laps will burn the tires off. The rest is up to them. Can Tyler Meeks do the unthinkable? Everybody had their eye on Janczak. Everybody had their eye on Harris. Does Meeks have the last bit, the last piece of the puzzle to win his first championship? We're about to find out. The green flag drops. We're back underway. Diamond, I hate saying it, but Trey does probably not have enough time here. He's literally about 8 laps down in this case here. Donald Clay saying get on the gas. Well, they're on the gas. They're on the throttle. And a full throttle Sarge Arch coming right at the 35. Janczak got blocked again. Meeks send it down there. This teammate is not making this easy on him. I'm getting Larson and Elliott vibes right about now. This is not looking good here. Oh, it's not looking good if you're in that Oval Sim Performance crew right now. I'd be a little bit nervous, a little bit sketchy. Here comes the 4. James Harris, though, using his tactics, using his veteran instincts. He pushes the 40 ahead there at the 35, trying to make the rookie work for it. He's trying to keep towards that bottom lane here, looking for any kind of run up, any kind of position he can. Janczak trying to be the Triple Crown winner, trying to be one of the very few that can get it done in these championship seasons, in these races. Harris looking for his second title. Never got a chance to defend it. He's looking to do it now. Janczak doing everything he can to hold off the kid that wants to win his first season title. Nathan Meyer literally just working dead center here. Every single one of these guys in that top 6 have had something to work around with Oval Sim Performance on Southern Seas Motorsports this entire season. Those two have been at odds, at war with one another time and time again. And you're just getting another taste of it right now. Control of the pace, control of the track here. Yellow flag back out there. I saw him stacking up pretty bad down there off turn number 2. And I think Janczak might have got Meeks the better of on that run. So now Janczak will take the lead. But what happened exactly here? Caution flag flew out, and that may have been the most incomparable of times, the most innocuous of times. You do not want to see that caution flag fly out. What happened here? Take a look at the replay here, see if we get an idea from the truck's perspective. It looked like it piled up right in the middle here. Oh, there's a sign. Garth Snyder and Christian Wilcox bring out the caution. And honestly, I'm not sure about this one, guys. I know Wilcox, you know, is not in the top 4 and Snyder is in there too, but that's a bit of an offshoot caution there. That's a bit of a wild one to hit there. I mean, if I'm looking at it from this perspective, here's a 3 wide salute, yes, and here's where things got pretty ugly. It looked like Wilcox and Snyder were able to drive out on their own here. They got kind of collected in. Robert Lawrence got tagged up a bit, and it seemed like they were able to refire and get them going again. I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge, but I'm not so sure on this one. I don't know if the iRacing control was right on point this time. They've been doing such a good job this season, though. You can't really blame them, but I don't know. I honestly do not know. Tyler Meeks, though, will stay out. This is a very huge risk he's taking right now. This is honestly, in my opinion, this is the biggest risk of his career right here, staying out. I think he's expecting another caution, though. Janczak, Harris, the last of the four that really have a chance here, are gonna go for a long run here. Trey Whitehead, really his season kind of ending, unfortunately, on a bit of a whimper, if you will. The Buffalo Springs 33 had a great season overall, though. Getting to the top 4 is certainly just enough in its own right. But what a tough break for him. Unfortunately, gets into the wrecks early, gets into the bad sticky situations earlier on, and the season comes to an end there. Diamond saying surprised that Harris hasn't tried 3 wide yet. If I'm being honest with you, I think he's being very careful here. He's being awfully cautious. I've seen him push some limits here. He's been getting very, very close to making a move or two and making a run for it. But you're right. He's being awfully conservative here, being awfully on the pace and on the control licks here. It's hard for me to really tell if he's going to go for the big move or not, if he's going to try to make the big slingshot roundabout. Jason Taylor, William Mann Jr., they will stay out as well. So it looks like they're going to try and help 35 here, trying to help the rookie and themselves here if they can. The stage is starting to come alive here. The fans are literally, no one's sitting down right now, man. They really want to hit this one up. Diamond saying Trey won the All-Star race at lead. Yeah, he really did too. He put up a pretty good performance, a good battle there, taking that one home. I know that one meant a lot to him and his crew, and he really needed that too to help him out. This is the biggest moment right now for the number 35. He's on dead tires. Let's be honest with ourselves. He's on a very dead set of tires. But the good news for him is there's always about 7 drivers behind him that are having to block the way for Janczak, Harris, or any of them to come at him. He has a chance. There is a possibility. But again, with that set behind him so burned up on their tire end here, if any of them get ahead of him and he can't get some kind of runoff, he's not going to escape the guys behind him. This is going to be a war of nutrition for literally Harris and Janczak if they want to win this. For Meeks, it's just long-term strategy. Does he have the right focus and the mentality to take this one home? I've been in his shoes before. I know that feeling. It's the scariest feeling ever because you don't know if you're going to get lucky or you're going to get very unlucky. We're about to see. Turn number 4. This whole shot restart will tell the tale. Down the ends, down the stripes, you see him run it hard off, right down to the cut, and we're off back to the races. The championship is on the line. It's waiting for one of these drivers. Which will it be? Look at William Mann Jr. all of a sudden, though, starting to take a little bit of a fight here to the boys. He can't get the championship, but you know he wants that first win of his career. I don't think he'll complain there at all. He's at a little bit of a standstill, though, with Jason Taylor. Janczak's now going to have to try to maneuver through traffic. See him backing off a little bit. Oh, no, Nathan Meyer, though, they'll spin off right down the turn. And Randall Fox has run it right off of turn number 4. Rex on now. And this is exactly what Tyler Meeks wants to see. This is not what Janczak or Harris wants whatsoever. Meeks has now got a big chance here. And Harris, one of the championship 4, gets caught in the wreckage. Unbelievable. Unreal. Wow. Things just picked up. Where did it go wrong? Robert Wynn, the 16's up top here. Meyer, look at this. He bobbles. Falk smacks the back of the 4. Harris had nowhere to go. Potter, Whitehead, all kind of colliding in. A little bit of a rotation spin there. Well, it's credit to Whitehead and Potter for not taking Harris with them. But right there, Meyer may have just made the biggest mistake of his season. And I don't even think he realized what he's done for some of his teammates here. One of them will definitely be happy that he may have ended up having that happen. The other, maybe not so much. Look at this. Try to slingshot the move on Kilgore. You can see right there. He just got loose. And it got everybody having to back off from him. Meyer was going straight into pit road. He had no way to get out of that. He was trying to avoid it and trying to stay away from causing trouble. Unfortunately for him, though, it was not enough time. Janczak moves up in 7th, but again, he's got, like Diamond just said, they've got the NPR crew ahead of him. This is absolutely wild and crazy right now, folks. I am not even going to try to figure out who's going to take this one home. They are coming up on the end here. They should have about 8 laps remaining on the restart, maybe 7 in total. There is not a fan sitting down still. They are all standing up, waiting for the results, waiting for this one. There is no way of telling who can win this. There is no way of knowing who will pull this one off. I mean, if you want some edge on your seat, literally no idea who's pulling this one off kind of moments here, I don't think you're going to find them any more than you will find them here on PTM Racing TV. They're going to have 7 to go on the restart. Meeks in the driver's seat right now. Your mate, these are the moments you work for. These are the moments you fight for. How bad do you want to become a champion? How bad do you want to immortalize yourself on our show and on the tracks that you so rightly have raced and worked your tail ends off for? Every single one of these drivers right now is thinking just about that. From the burnt end tires to the fresher sets. Janczak said right at the point of this race, he said point blank, and I quote, "This is a tighter track to get around." It is indeed, and right now, if he was at Auto Club, I don't think he'd be too worried. I think he'd just go to the outside and just go full send on it. But this is not going to work out to his advantage. This is not going to work out the way he wants it to. He knows he can't go to the outside here. He will not build up enough speed, and the middle line is really the only highest end he can go to. He needs the drivers on the burnt ends to lift up and go rising up to the top side to give him a chance, to give him an opening. Does he have anything left? Does he have anything to get to it? Diamond saying, gotta wonder how much room they will give Craig. Craig definitely going to be taking them 3 wide. That's the case. That's what I'm thinking. But will Craig risk trying to damage his truck up? This is literally his last chance. If he decides to go 3 wide and say one of them doesn't quite hold up and get a little bit loose, or he tags one of them, I guarantee you his night's over with. This is absolutely uninspiring sight to see, and this is going to be a crazy little run. Which side do you fall on? Do you fall on the Oval Sim Performance crew? Do you fall with Meeks? Do you fall with Janczak? Meeks literally took a huge, and I mean probably the biggest gamble of his career by just staying out, hoping for another caution or hoping to get a run there from the boys behind him. Now he has literally only 7 laps to victory. It's only 28 more turns he's got to perform to win the title. William Mann Jr. though, it's not a matter of the title to him. What he wants more than anything is to finally just put the truck into victory lane. It's been 2 years we've been broadcasting with the PTM Racing TV crew, and 1 year we've seen William Mann Jr. on the show and on the same exact spot. There are so many storylines developing right now. There is so much, all too little time to be had. Let the race finish on its own merit. To the green we charge. Janczak gets a slight opening there from Young. He'll get another opening from Thacker. Thacker and Janczak have been in the same predicament before. Oh, they're going to get put into her again. Look at Janczak. He's trying to sneak his way in there. Get it in there. He gets into Thacker yet again, though. They'll pull it 3 wide off of turn 3. Thacker backs off. He gets out of the way. Forsythe is now the last piece of the puzzle. He's got to get around. William Mann Jr. is now making this easy on Meeks, though. William Mann Jr. to the bottom. He wants the first. He wants the first. Can he hold on? He doesn't care. He will give it everything she's got. Look at Janczak go. Piles it right in. It's over for Janczak. No, it's not over yet. Yellow is out. He managed to save it. Oh my. He saved it, but at what cost? At what cost? And right now, I guarantee you that 40 is not happy at all. How bad is the damage on the 40? He will be put back in the 7th spot. Now 6. I think he might get the 5th, but the damage on that left side is severe. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a green-white checkered attempt. And Janczak knows he cannot get in anybody right now. He's got to keep the truck in one piece. But how much damage did he just suffer from that? How much has that cost him his race? And for Meeks now, he's got to be a little bit afraid of Mann Jr. because Mann Jr. was not holding back. Look at that run there. Forsythe him colliding there a little bit. You can watch Janczak. He was going for the 3 wide salute. And Forsythe just drove it a little bit up. Didn't realize where Janczak was. Janczak backs it off in the corner. Saves the truck somehow, some way. I might need to get kicked out of the booth here in a minute, folks. This might get a little too crazy even for me. I don't know how on earth you can call this one. I don't know how in the world you're going to call this one. There's the initial contact. Look at Janczak. He sees the opening. He knows he has to go for it. But Forsythe, another, gets a piece of it. And you said it in the comments here from Diamond as well. He was a little concerned about that. Janczak knew this was a very tall order and a very tough spot to throw himself in. These team events can make or break your season, and they can make or break yourself out there, to say the least. This is the last angle we'll show you. Initial contact, not there. Forsythe, just right into the rear end. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness, folks. You want moments like these? Do you want to see the race conclude under the most crazy of times? green, white checker. That's all I'm going to tell you. Meeks, Man Jr., Taylor, Thacker, Janczak. And Janczak in that top 5 right now is damaged. And it's on the worst side imaginable because that left side is what's helping him rotate around the inside corners and around the pack. Does he have anything left, and can he keep that tire from going down? If that wheel fender is bending into that tire, it will shred the rubber up. It will hurt the truck. How bad of damage has it took, and how hard of a hit was it? Does he have enough to win this one? He's been doing everything he can, and he's been trying to do what he can as well to win this one out from the start to the get-go. He's talked about this race just a couple weeks ago. He's talked about this battle. He's talked about everything he's come up for. And Meeks, honestly, he came in here tonight really, in my opinion, the true underdog favorite. Nobody, and I don't think anybody was even thinking for 1 second that 35 was going to have the chance of his life. He took the biggest gamble, as I mentioned before, and now it might have just paid off. He only has to get through 8 turns and has to worry about that fuel line now because, again, he had not gone into pit road. He's done a full-length fuel. I don't know how much he's got left in there. I would presume he's got enough for this green-white checkered, but after that, that might not be enough. I'm getting a little shaky here in the booth, folks. This is getting pretty wild, even for me. William Mann Jr., if he can get around the 35 and Meeks and win this one, he'll win his first race ever here on PTM Racing TV. Meeks, though, if he just stays ahead of Janczak, the title belongs to him. That's all he has to do. The drama is unfolding here on PTM Racing TV. If you have not got this one shared around, I don't know what the heck you're doing. If you haven't liked and followed us up here on Facebook, I don't know where the heck you've been. You better subscribe here on the YouTube end as well so you never miss the live shows when they come up or our replay shows. Because this one's something a lot of drivers are going to look back on, and many fans may look back on this season as one of the craziest runs and the best seasons we've ever witnessed. How does this one end? How does it conclude? This is for the title. The championship is up for grabs. Who wants it more? To the green we wave. Meeks with an incredible start yet again. Last time we saw this was Janczak when he was leading on it with a fresh set of tires. Is this enough? Man Jr. had all the momentum on that last restart before the wreck happened. Now he's got to try to catch up to Meeks once more. He's got Jason Taylor, though, blocking his line to get to the bottom. 56 of Thacker trying to hold it down as well here. Janczak's run is over and done with at this point. The left side tires are burnt up too much. White flag in the air. They'll bring him straight down the end. Tyler Meeks has been caught up, though. A last-ditch effort. Taylor threw it right at him in the bottom lane. He almost got that front bumper into that rear corner. Battle. Taylor's gone. Man Jr. takes it for a bump and run. Man Jr. wants it. Can he get him? Can he get him? They'll come to the line. It's gonna be a fight and a half here down the ends. Man Jr. to the end of the line, to the finish line, and as Tyler Meeks pulls into the end of the race, he is your season 4 champion and the race winner at Las Vegas. Unbelievable. The championship, the crown, and the victory belongs to the 35, and quite possibly right here now we may just be seeing a passing of the torch. Janczak knows that really this was not the way it should have turned out. It knows this is not the way he wanted it to be, but he must admit defeat at times. and he'll have to admit defeat to this one. Give the reins to the 35. Let the man have his day. Tyler Meeks, with the biggest gamble of his career, pulls off, and what a place to do that at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. He is your Season 4 champion. What an awe-inspiring sight. Just literally a picturesque race and a way to end this one out for the Green Mountain Girls Fast and Fun Truck Series for Season 4. Maybe one of the wildest calls we've ever made here in quite some time. It was one for the ages. Tyler Meeks, crowned champion by only 0.04 of a second. If he backed off and let Van Jr. have it, it wouldn't have mattered. He would have won the title, but he didn't want to lay it down that way. Give credit where credit's due to Man Jr. Despite that bump and run to Taylor, he wanted this one so badly he felt like he could take it, but it was not to be. Thacker, a surprise favorite, goes third. Fourth to Fornshell. What a season for him and his crew, and maybe could bring that one very much so in the next season. George Young, absolutely tremendous performance, finishing in the top 5. Maybe something to look towards, maybe in the future. Jason Taylor, 6th, even after the bump and run. Robert Lawrence, 7th, 8th to Christian Wilcox. The heartbreaker of it all for Craig Janczak goes 9th after the damage on that left side. And Russ Kilgore goes 10th. This, my friends, was absolutely insane, to say the least. Let's finish the night off. Top 3, join me now. Ladies and gentlemen, your third place finisher here is John Thacker here. And John, I know this one, was a little bit bittersweet to not come away with the W, but man, you had a lot going on and a lot really at place here and really at bay. You gave it everything you had and then some, and you're still going to come away here third. What was it like for you at this last bit of the run?
All I wanted to do was ruin man's hopes and dreams for getting a W on the last lap like I did at the end of last season. And it failed. He held on. Meeks held on. But, it was tough. Pit strategy come back around after being in the back. Last time I talked to you, it come back around and found myself running top 5. And a couple of things happened. And I had a shot to win it. And yellow after yellow after yellow, it just kind of come up short. I'm not mad, I'm supposed to be 10th through 19th, and here I am 3rd, so I'll take it. It's a win for me.
Never failed to amaze me by living up the NPR code and standards, but Thacker, still, it was a surprisingly strong day for the NPR crew. Top 5 finishes for you and Young. Who do you want to thank here tonight for this third?
Man, probably wouldn't have done it if I wouldn't have been fueled by the smoked chicken breasts I made with my Green Mountain Grill. All right, I quit hamming it up, but for real, I'm very appreciative of Green Mountain Grills for sponsoring this, and Kevin always making it happen and helping us out. So that's who I like. I appreciate James and Eli running all this show and putting up with our drama, and I usually punt to them when the big questions come, so I can just show up and race. But other than that, man, that's it for me. I appreciate you running the season with the broadcast. I hope you get to do it again next year, and I'll see you later.
Certainly will. Hope we can bring it back and come back around here, Thacker. Thanks so much for your time. Congratulations on the third place finish, sir.
All right, thank you.
John Thacker, ladies and gentlemen, comes away third. William Mann Jr., I don't know how many more times I've got to keep saying this, or I'm going to keep saying this, or bring him in and say this. He comes up short again, and of all things, man, you literally had to perform a bump and run on turn number 2. I thought when I saw you coming down in 3 and 4, I'm like, this is his chance. And yet again, the package just wasn't enough speed left in the hood, and the tires were just too shot. but my God Almighty, what a run you put on to fight Meeks out there.
Yeah, if I'd have known for sure that I could have dumped him and not cost him the championship, I would have done it. Full 100%, no doubt in my head. I got to his bumper and I cracked the throttle. I don't want to take somebody's title from him that way just for a win. It does suck. It's a tough pill to swallow. But man, another good season. Nice way to cap it off.
Certainly, indeed. Now I know, obviously, you were really trying to get the first one out of the way, and obviously you're trying to make, amends for everything you've been through these last couple seasons, these couple races. But nevertheless, though, I mean, you still continuously, without a doubt of a shadow, really prove that you can hang with these guys and you can really perform at the top tier level. Now going into the next season, I'm just gonna ask this. I mean, what is going to be your main focus?
The wins. This next truck season, there's no more teams. We're running a tighter schedule, and everything's just gonna be straight fixed setup. So just putting the bumper to people and getting some wins,
Never one for a loss of the bumper and loss for the words, man, Junior. Final time here, and you are a hard charger, by the way, of the night. Who do you want to thank for all
Nice.
this?
Man's maintenance, man, putting a lot of our funding from our company, me and the Papa Beast, as you call him, into the sim rig and the time I spend. Camp whiskey for healing the inside wounds when I come up short like tonight. And Green Mountain Grills, the admins that put on this truck series. PTM for broadcasting, putting up with our shenanigans half the time.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless here, it's been a wild season, a wild race here, and get-go for you, man. But congratulations, sir, nevertheless.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Ladies and gentlemen, William Mann Jr. comes away just a little short yet again. I am not really sure what went wrong on my end here. Hold on one sec here while I go ahead and get, I think it's just because the closing and the nature here out on our end here. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to show you this little clip right here as we bring the man of the hour and the man now with the power. He is going to walk away here, your champion. Ladies and gentlemen, please, and I do mean please, welcome to the stage your Season 4 champion, Tyler Meeks, and the number 35, Tyler. This one was a long time coming for you and your crew. You performed on a high basis and a high level, but man, you had to literally do the Vegas style and gamble one last time to win this one.
Yes, no doubt, and yeah, it's been a very, very long time coming to get this win finally. And with that last pit stop, I was thinking to myself, I'm gonna do opposite of what Craig does, just to kind of give myself a chance, because I didn't think I was gonna be able to beat him straight up. So he dove in. I split second thought about going, but I think I was too late. James pulled in, everyone else pulled in behind me. So luckily they got caught up in some traffic from the people that pitted before, and I got lucky. I was able to I wouldn't say run away with it, but stay in front long enough to where they didn't catch me. So I seen Man coming. I was thinking he was gonna get me. He got to my inside coming out of 4. I was like, look, he can have it. I'm not racing him. I'm racing for a championship. So fortunately, I got the championship win and the race win. First one of the season.
First one of the season, and like we saw with one driver in the Xfinity Series, the one that counts the most. I mean, but let's talk about that for a second, because Man Jr. just told us he did burp throttle there because he did not want to ruin your race and your championship. And I mean, I know he gave the bumper and the run there on Taylor, but I mean, if there was ever a show of respect, and at least a show of credibility, even at the most opportunistic of times, I'd say definitely this Green Mountain Grills crew certainly does have a little bit of respect for that in this case here.
Oh yeah, I messaged Man already. I said, hey, you had the spot. I appreciate you for not dumping me. And he said he just said congratulations. And if I wasn't for the championship, he definitely would have ran me over. So I can't hate him for that. I like to see that I have earned some respect from all these Green Mountain Grill guys. My first year coming in here, so we're gonna start working on next season, and try to keep this momentum. It's gonna be good going into the next season as the defending champion, I can say. So just all in all, I mean, I'm glad I earned these guys respect, like I said, to not get just ran over at the end, because I definitely had older tires. So I mean, very unfortunate for Craig. I mean, Craig and James both actually they both got took out when they were. I mean, we ran top 3 all. It seemed all race, just following each other in line. So very unfortunate for them. But at the end of the day, glad that we came home with the win and got to just keep on going.
It is very unfortunate here, but as we said here in racing, you expect the unexpected and be aware for the unpredictable nature that is the sport. But Meeks, final question. Sign this one off and sign it with me here. Who do you want to thank here for all this?
Yeah, no doubt. Well, first off, I got to thank Green Mountain Grill, Champion Power, all them guys, Kevin Krisher for putting on the big sponsorship, letting us run. Second, I got to give a huge shout out to Craig for Craig being the team owner. He took a huge shot on me coming in, running one of his trucks as a rookie. So I just got a big thanks to him also. Big thanks to you guys up in the booth for all season, both truck and cup. You guys do an excellent job on putting on a broadcast and getting our names out there, especially winning a championship now. I got my name all over it. So any kind of broadcast help or, whatever, any kind of exposure always helps. So just a big shout out to everybody. I mean, everybody in the league. It was a good season. I didn't get any wins during the main season besides the championship, but staying consistent is key. And at the end of the day, we put our Camping World Chevy up front where it needed to be and crossed the line first. It's all that matters.
You certainly did indeed, and Meeks, I think at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for and hope for in this series. You were the last of our drivers to talk with in top 4, and you're the last driver to talk with in season 4. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir. That is a great feeling coming from you.
Absolutely. We will see you next time out here. Best of luck next season, bud.
Thank you, Chris. Have a good one.
You too. Ladies and gentlemen, the Season 4 champion is crowned, and this one is in the bag. Race fans, what a season. That's all I got to say to that. Absolutely insane. We're going to move into the next season here in a couple weeks from now. We'll see what happens with the updates if we get it. We'll keep you guys in touch and informed. Also, on our Twitter, we left you a little news there for Saturday night. Check that out. For all those that stay tuned in with us, thank you so much. Thank you so much to Green Mountain Grills for everything. Fans, friends, family alike. This has been an honor to call for. This has been so much fun to call. I can't thank you guys from the bottom of my heart enough. What a race. What a way to end this season. I will catch you guys next time here on PTM Racing TV. For now, though, stay safe out there and take care of yourselves. We'll see you when the green flag drops here.